Hey, Tim here. A week or two ago, there was some outrage, at least on Twitter, regarding Bert and Ernie. I guess one of the Sesame Street writers was like, oh yeah, they're super gay. And, anyone with fucking 2 brain cells in their head reading that was like, yeah, no fucking shit, right? But still, there were a lot of people who were upset at the thought of Ernie sticking his big fat muppet dick into Bert's pale yellow felt asshole. So the Children's Television Workshop, or whatever they're known as now, the Sesame Workshop, had to issue a statement saying, no, Bert and Ernie are just friends. And then another writer came out and was like, no, they are gay. We write them as gay. And then another writer was like, no, they're not gay. It was a whole thing. I know for longtime Distorted View listeners, though, none of this affected them at all in the least, because we've already tackled Bert and Ernie's homosexuality in the form of a Sextastic Tuesday story years ago. For those of you who don't remember, Sextastic Tuesday was a bit, I bring it back once in a while. But back then it was a regular segment on the show. Every Tuesday I would find a piece of really poorly written, weird, or just disgusting erotica in the form of sex stories. And I would read these masturbatory abominations to you, and we'd all laugh and get skeeved out. So I thought it would be fun right now to replay the Bert and Ernie sex story we read a few years ago. Enjoy. I'll be back later today. This is Wednesday, September 26th, with a new episode of Distorted View Daily. I just thought you might enjoy this. Take a listen.
Reality TV is not always real. Isn't that how Bert talks? Yes, reality TV is not always real, and we are the granddaddies of it all. My name is Bert, and when my buddy Ernie and I were asked to be on TV, we didn't have to think twice. The cameras came in and captured our lives for all to see, but what they showed couldn't have been further from the true hell that existed when the cameras were off. For our TV friends, I appeared to be in control, a bully even, but in reality, I was only a puppet to Ernie's masochistic desires. A toy for his delight. And so stupid. And more nights than not, I would be left in tears. The innocent hobbies that everyone was so familiar with turned into pain-ridden encounters, sexual games. Last night I was sitting naked on my bed looking at my pop can collection when he came home. Ernie had been down at the park watching Pigeons, as he often did, but there was no innocence in that act. He was looking for a prize to bring home. The front door slammed and he came into the bedroom. "Bert, what the fuck are you doing?" he screamed. "I'm just counting my pop caps." "Get up!" I got up, shaking from the bed. Ernie went over and dumped all my remaining pop caps onto my bed and spread them out over the surface. "Stop crying, you bitch!" With that, Ernie reached into his nightstand and grabbed his rubber ducky. He always kept it there for times like this. He walked over to me and shoved the ducky into my mouth. "This will keep you quiet. Get on the fucking bed, face down." I know, my impression is spot on, right? I stumbled a little and did as he told. When I got on the bed, I could feel some of the bottle caps cutting into my skin. The sharp sides on many were facing up, and with the weight of my body, they pressed into my flesh. I felt my cock beginning to pulsate. So much pain, but somehow strangely erotic. The harder my cock grew, the more pain, as the pop caps that were pressed against it began to rip into the soft flesh. But I loved the feeling. I began to squirm just to feel the caps scrape against my skin. Ernie walked up to me and smacked my ass. "I know what you want," he whispered. "Oh, I know what you want." I could hear a quiet coo as he pulled a pigeon out of his pocket. Where the hell is this story going? I then felt Ernie's finger probing at my ass. "How about some birdseed?" I then felt his fingers prodding deeper. He was taking birdseed and sprinkling it... Oh, I know where the story's going now. And sprinkling it across my body and pushing some into my ass. He gently stroked the feathers of the pigeon and set it upon my bare ass. I could feel it pecking, eating the seed. I was getting nervous as it got closer to my hole. At first, the pecks were incredible. Soft, gentle, and I could feel the pigeon's beak getting closer to my waiting asshole. And pecking, digging a little deeper, and without realizing what I was doing, I let out a woeful sigh of delight.
You like this, you fuck?
Ernie screamed. We're going to stop right there for just a minute to learn about the number 12.
12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And back to the story.
You like this, you fuck?
He grabbed the neck of the pigeon and forced its head into my asshole. I could feel the pigeon begin to struggle, and it started pecking harder, and he forced its head deeper and deeper into my ass. The pain was incredible. I could feel its beak tearing at the insides of my ass. God, it felt like it was ripping my intestines apart. So much pain. Then at once, I heard a crack, and it was over. Ernie had broken the pigeon's neck as its head was buried deep in my ass.
Do you like it now, bitch?
He whispered. I felt him pull the bird from my hole, and I turned my head towards him. I could not stop the tears from rolling down my cheeks. I looked up, and Ernie was looking straight into my eyes, holding the dead pigeon in his hands. The poor bird, now covered with blood and shit. He pulled the bird up to his mouth and placed its head in his mouth, sucking it clean. He reached down and removed the ducky from my mouth. We're going to stop again just for a quick moment to learn all about the letter V.
V. Vacuum.
Thank you, Mr. Typewriter. My favorite character.
Roll over.
Slowly I rolled, peeling away the bottle caps that I was laying on. Some fell away, others had become so deeply embedded in my skin that they never moved.
You want a taste?
He asked. No, I whispered.
Too bad, fag.
He screamed as he took the pigeon and forced its head into my mouth.
Tastes good, doesn't it?
I couldn't say a word, just lay there with his dead bird's head in my mouth.
Oh yeah, one more thing.
He exclaimed, and before I knew it, he drew back and gave me a vicious punch to the bottom of my chin, forcing my mouth closed, cleanly removing the pigeon's head from its body. As its blood dripped down my chin, Ernie leaned down and asked me for a kiss. I kissed him and felt him force his tongue into my mouth as he swept the bird's head into his own. As he pulled away, I could hear the crunching sounds as he chewed the pigeon's head. Then it was all over. With one swallow, the head was gone.
Get a fucking shower
He screamed.
and wash your sheets.
With that, Ernie turned and left the room, slamming the door behind him. Now, with him gone, my mind began to think about all that had happened, and I could truly enjoy the memories as I began to stroke my hard cock.
The end. That is your Bert and Ernie Sextastic Tuesday story, and I think it really sheds some light on their unique relationship. If you like that Sextastic Tuesday story, you might want to listen to the rest. They're all in the archive. Sign up for the sideshow. You'll get access to all 3,000 past episodes of DV plus exclusive new shows every week. Remember, I've got a new program for everyone later today, so be on the lookout for that. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you back in a few hours. Bye, freaks!